Greetings friends, Battle for Azeroth is finally here and it's awesome, but whether you are a new player or a returning one or just want to see what are the biggest changes in this expansion and my honest review of it, you are in the right place. So let's count down the 10 biggest features in no particular order and also give a review of the expansion so far. Number 10, the Hearth of Azeroth. The first new thing you get in the expansion is the Heart of Azeroth. After Sargeras stabbed the world with his little sword, the planet is bleeding azerite, and after defeating the Burning Legion together, the biggest threat we saw, the Alliance and the Horde start fighting each other again for rocks. The Heart of Azeroth is here to replace the Legion artifacts as well as legendaries and armor set bonuses. I know, hard job. You gain azerite power from pretty much everything like you did with artifact power, and you rank it up. Each level increases its item level by 2 and 15 when your reputation goes up with Champions of Azeroth. And your head, shoulders and chests are Azerite armor as well. You'll be able to pick traits and increase their item level based on your Heart of Azeroth level as well. Number 9. Darnassus and Undercity. What happens in the pre-patch stays in the pre-patch, or not really. In case you missed it, our tree is burning, not that tree. Teldrassil was burned down by Sylvanas, destroying the capital of the Night Elves. You can't go there now, and on the map it shows as ruins of Darnassus, but you can speak with a timekeeper to visit old Azeroth. After this, the Alliance attacked Lordaeron with the help of Jaina, trying to take it back, but Sylvanas also destroyed it with Plague, ruining 2 capital cities. Good job. Number 8. Kul Tiras and Zandalar. The biggest change this expansion is of course the addition of not 1, not 3, but 2 new continents. And the most interesting part here is that they are pretty much completely split. If you play on the Alliance, you will level up and see the story of Kul Tiras. You'll go with Jaina and meet her mother that will imprison her, then head to complete the 3 areas to unite the kingdoms of Kul Tiras and save Jaina. And if you play Horde, you'll go to Zandalar after breaking the princess and prophet out of Stormwind and experience a different story. You'll have a capital. On the Alliance you have Boralus, and on the Horde you have Dazar'alor. Here you have portals to the main cities, trainers for every profession, as well as a scrapper where you can destroy gear for crafting materials. I finished the Alliance side and started the Horde one too, since you kinda miss half of the expansion if you only play on one side. Overall the zones and the story were really nicely done. What I liked the most was how cinematic everything was, so many cutscenes and so many talked quests and lots of interesting and fun ones. You only get 3 leveling areas, but they are huge, and all of them have a lot of side quests. I got to 116 in the first one, but I did pretty much everything, ending 120 at 2 out of 10 chapters done in the third one. Yet I finished all of them and the Jaina main story afterwards. It took me 20 to 30 hours to get 120, and I played 20 or to 30 more hours afterwards, but I took my time to read the quests and enjoy the story and explore all the zones. So on the Alliance side you start on Tiragard Sound, an area full of pirates and the place where the capital city and the Proudmoore residents are. Then there's Stormsong Valley, a beautiful place with a nation corrupted by the old gods and Azshara, and creepy Drustvar, my favorite zone of the expansion, where you help a Wakeress daughter get rid of witches and reclaim her home. On the Horde side you have Zundalar, a big green jungle where you'll get the respect of the god king of Wakanda, I mean Zandalar, Nazmir. Another quite creepy area filled with blood trolls and old gods, and Vol'dun, a desert area filled with ruins and pyramids and snake people. You don't have a garrison or a class hall now, instead an area on the capital will replace its needs, still having missions, war supplies, followers and rich searches to do. There's also a war campaign that sends you to make a base in each of the opposite's faction zones and then assassinate and fight leaders of that faction. After you complete your 3 zone stories and get friendly reputation with them, you also unlock world quests, and you still have an emissary each day like in Legion, giving you a bonus if you complete 3 or 4 quests for them. And you get quests on both continents as each faction. Apart from that, there are currently 10 new dungeons. Mythic Plus is not yet out, but the dungeons are great and feel quite different from each other. Wakeress Manor is my favorite, though all of them seem a bit more challenging and there's too many mobs in between boss fights, making them sometimes even harder than the actual boss when you have to fight 20 at once. The first raid will be Uldir, taking place in the creepy area of Zandalar and fighting a blood old god as the final boss here, G'huun. There's no 120 only zone yet, so I think we're likely to get new areas as we dive deeper into the expansion. Number 7. Scaling. Next we're going to let Tombman explain this new change. Scaling.
Hi, I'm Doomman. See my health? See this damage? It's small. It used to be millions, but Blizzard stole it from me. They reduced all the numbers across the board, my health, mobs health and damage, as well as the item level of every piece of gear. Instead of going over 1000 in Battle for Azeroth, we're back to 300. Everything is smaller and easier to read, since people couldn't count that much. Makes it easier to the eye, but I miss my millions.
Number 6. Island Expeditions. Island Expeditions are a nice addition to the game, Sea of Thieves in WoW if you will. You pick out of 4 difficulties and join a crew to take Azerite from different islands before the opposite faction, where you'll find treasure, mobs, elites and the opposite factions, NPCs acting like players, or fight actual players if you pick the PvP mode of the expeditions. Number 5. Spells and talents. As always, each class has major or minor changes. With the artifact weapons gun, some spells from there remain directly into the spellbook for some classes, or got added as talents, like New Moon on Balance. Even if it's the worst talent of its tier, I really like that spell, I hope they will get it buffed. Same for some of the traits given by legendaries, they got added as talents or as bonuses to older talents. Some spells are removed, and some old spells are brought back, especially CC abilities like Hibernate on the Druid, and many buffs are back as well, like Arcane Intellect on the Mage or Fortitude on the Priest, and some classes received visual updates to the spells. The Warlock is a good example. Number 4. Allied Races. You've probably already seen or even played them since they got added in Legion, but not only having the new races here is a great change, but the idea of allied races. Since they are simpler to do and implement, meaning we'll get many more allied races over time, not only with new expansions. Currently you get 2 for each faction, with 1 more added to them soon. You still need achievements to unlock them, but you'll get a mount for each recruited race, and if you level them to 110 without a boost, you'll also unlock their heritage armor. Number 3. War Mode and PvP. War Mode is pretty much World PvP 2.0. You activate it in Stormwind or Orgrimmar and it lets you fight players in the world and gives additional 10% bonus XP and rewards from world quests, and give you access to selected PvP talents in the world apart from in dungeons or raids. PvP talents are also changed, you get to pick 3 out of around 13 and your medallion. The honor level and prestige are now merged on the account. There are no more prestige levels, but honor goes up to 500, giving rewards every few levels. BGs are also now separate, big ones are epic battlegrounds, conquest points will return, the PvP season is not out yet, a new ranking system will also be added, similar to Overwatch, with leagues like Rival, Duelist and so on, replacing the boring elo number and giving you a better idea of where you are. Skill-wise, there's also a new Duelers Guild. You can queue from your capital's headquarters and fight 1v1 battles with other players. Number 2. Warfronts. Also not yet released, the Warfronts are 20-man PvE large-scale co-op campaigns taking place on different zones of the world, even visually upgraded old ones like Arati Highlands. Inspired by Warcraft 3, they allow you to lead a massive battle. You get to create outposts, take resources, set up supply lines and train units to push the assault and take the enemy stronghold. Number 1. Voice chat, communities and professions. And finally some more UI changes. You can still see the old guild UI, but there's this new one as well as communities and voice chat. In the community and guild tab you can see the chat even if you weren't there, as well as create multiple rooms and join voice chat directly in the guild, and you can also join or create more in-game or on the Blizzard communities. I'll make one now to show you, and you can join it if you want, I'll leave a link. Apart from that, voice chat was added pretty much everywhere. You join a group or a dungeon or PvP and you get to join the voice chat. Though not many people use it yet, might take a while for the masses to get used to it, it will be a nice feature, especially in rated PGs or arenas and raids. The professions got some changes as well. They're now split per expansion and you start at 1 on each of the zones, meaning you don't have to spend a lot of time and gold to catch up. You directly begin that profession in the new expansion now. Also, first aid is no longer a secondary profession, it got added to the tailors. Alright, well that's pretty much it for Battle for Azeroth. Overall I think it's a fantastic expansion so far. If you never played the WoW or looking to get back now, it's a good time as always when new expansions come out. Looking forward to see what happens next with Azshara and probably Old Gods, and for the rest of the features and the raid to come out. Thanks for watching, leave a like if you've enjoyed the video and subscribe if you are new here, and I'll see you soon with a new video about my UI. Bye bye.
I heard across a moonlit sea the old voice warning me, beware, beware, the daughter of the sea.